How to do the trip report workflow. Let me explain you in a couple steps how to fill out the new ISL trip report. Some of you will receive a link with the following direction. Click on this link. Once you click in there, it will appear a ISL trip report submission. In the new ISL trip report submission, you will find out some um, steps that you have to keep in account to finish the trip report for every single team. As you can see, it says ISL trip report, then submit trip report information here, International Service Learning Trip Report. This is every single word that has a star key over here on top. It means that it's mandatory. You won't be able to send or submit this report without filling out those spaces. You have to choose your country. Let's choose Nicaragua. Then your team legacy number. It could be the team legacy number previously given to you through the database for a specific team. Very similar to this one. Then you have to write down the date, the dates of your team, trip start date, and then trip end date. Then you have to write down the name of the team leader. It could be the team leader in charge of the team. Then you have to write down the name of hotel. It could be any of the hotel that you guys are using. Sometimes we use one and more hotel. So it's very important also to write down the name of hotel. Then ISL partner community name. Las Marias, for example. The number of volunteers, and if you have faculties, remember faculties doesn't count in the number of volunteers. For example, if you have 12 volunteers but you have one faculty um, over there. Service offered. We have an example over here a little bit below that says medical, dental, optical, community enrichment, etc. So you should write down if it's medical, well, uh, write down medical. Community impact. Number of patients seen and diagnosed made. So let's say that the first day you were able to see 20 patients. Maybe second day 19 patients. Third day 16 patients. So you have to write down also over there the type of diagnosis. Unfortunately, this space doesn't say that we have to specify from patient to patient. So if we do that, it's going to be a super long list. So what you can do is go through the medical records and see what's the prevalence of disease in the area. For example, I've been in communities that there are a lot of problems with diabetics. So diabetics or some patients having skin problems, skin disease, just to give you an example. Medications, it could be, for example, clotrimazole. It's important to write down the concentration. And then you can keep going and filling up the type of medicines that you gave out. If it is possible, also the number of creams or ointments that you gave out, for example, 10 in total. Then public health handouts distributed. Remember that we have a lot of handouts that we normally give out in during the home visits, but don't hesitate giving them out during the clinics days also, and asking the volunteers to help the patients to understand how to manage their their health problems. Um, Keeping educating people every day will be one of the great part of our work in the communities. So don't hesitate asking the volunteers or making even a couple of them to talk about uh, those topics in the community to the patients. Then public health handouts distributed, as I said before, projects accomplished. If there is any project that you are doing in the community with the team, like painting walls, like making gardens, or fixing chairs at schools, um, any any project that may be of a benefit or will create an impact in the community, please write down that information over there so we can keep a data about it. Photos sent to the ISL staff in the US. Remember to send them to Diana, Faith. Then staff evaluations. We're going to evaluate every person that is being involved in the team, your translators, doctors, bilingual assistants, transportation company also is very important to evaluate, and other informations. For example, like incidents that we found during the trip, um, highlights, suggestions about what we can improve in the program based on the experience. Restaurants, you should write down the name of the restaurant, contact information, and if possible, say what days you went to certain restaurant to make sure that you guys um, are doing okay with the service that you are receiving in those restaurants. Sometimes also our volunteers they evaluate the service in restaurants. It's important to have tracking of it. Community contact is important. If you have a leader as a contact, um, um, then let's see, uh, any like Christians ministers, um, local leaders, or school directors or principals, any person that help you to set up or create the program in a community, you must write down that there his her information in this box. Then the team leader signature. It could be the name, second name. It depends how they want to sign it over there. High recommendation. This trip report, until every single team leader has shown you what they a draft document about this trip report will be put online. So please, guys, make sure your staff check with you before uploading this into the database. They may be grammar problems, they may be miscommunication problems, there may be things that not necessarily has to go into this trip report that you may be able to fix in country first. But there could be issues that you want to check first before sending this team report submission online. At the end, you click on submit button, and that will be the end. The document will be uploaded automatically. Our people in the USA will receive a report also, a copy of this report, and the people that is being designed to have it. As I recommend at the really beginning, remember to do your own copies and keep your own draft copies and your hard drives, um, in case is it requests a little bit later.